Welcome to Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing us. It's a big edition of the Counter Press. Thank you for choosing us. I have a lot for you, a lot to unpack for you today. So like we always do, if you've not subscribed, do all to like, subscribe, and share. Do all to like, subscribe, and share. Do all to like, subscribe. Turn on your notification button. Choose all so that once any video drops, you are first to get it. I want to see that today. Thank you very much. It's today's analysis, but just before we even go through it, it's on Thursday here. Tomorrow the leagues are going to begin again, and I think that we are all excited as European football fans. So we are excited to get the European League started again, especially given the fact that we've had non-European football for about 2 weeks now. So almost every country has gone to play. I think that the highlights of the international break for me has been the sacking of Hansi Flick, who for me is suffering from a general German dip in the production line of players. I don't think that Hansi Flick himself is a bad manager. I just think that at this point in time, Germany football in itself is suffering, especially from the fact that their game has been much more mechanic and then a little bit more pragmatic than fluidity in it. So there have been some issues, but then quite apart from that, everything has been brilliant in the international break. France have been very good, albeit they lost to that game against Germany. Gary Southgate, yes, people call for his head, but essentially in almost every FIFA ranking since he took over, he has been in the top 5 for England. So yes, there are people that say fine, he needs to be there. Harry Maguire's issues do continue. There are issues of Portugal and how good Roberto Martinez has turned that team into in that regard, and of course Polish manager losing his job for Poland in that regard. So there have been a lot more, but then there's a return of club football. And first of all, on Friday night, there's a big game between FC Bayern Munich and Bayern Leverkusen. Yes, I think that if there is any team in the German Bundesliga this season, and you are going to hear it here first, that's going to give Bayern possibly a run for their money, probably take them to the cleaners, make it very difficult for Thomas Tuchel to win the German Bundesliga, then it is Xavi Alonso's Bayern Leverkusen. And that game on Friday is going to be a cracker. I'll tell you why, God willing, tomorrow. But even before that, there's also Italian Serie A matches coming, big games in the Italian Serie A. We'll preview all of that on Friday. On Saturday, you have them. Sunday, there are games. English Premier League on Saturday and Sunday as well. And of course, other leagues are going to be the betting codes also on Fiifi-Manfred, Fiifi_Manfred on Twitter. So yeah, enjoy it in that regard. But quite apart from that, today's issues are simple. Boy, if you're a Chelsea fan, maybe after watching Kendry Paye play for Ecuador and being the youngest South American to play in a World Cup qualifier at age 16, you understand why Chelsea are willing to buy all the best talents now and not wait for the future. So, by virtue of contest, Paye plays for Independiente de la Velle, the same club that Moises Caicedo came from. Now, Chelsea saw him when he went to play in a competition in Austria for RB Salzburg. Now, in that competition, there were lots of other football agents and clubs that were there that wanted the signature of the young player. I mean, ideally, these players will probably end up in, say, Brighton or a smaller club, and later the big boys will buy them for huge sums of money. Chelsea saw him and said, no, this is the guy that we need at Chelsea Football Club, given our current project, and we need to make sure that he's here. Chelsea got Kendry Paye. He's a Chelsea player, but still on loan at Independiente de la Velle. He played for the Ecuadorian national team with Moises Caicedo, assisted and scored. And if you look at the ratings over there after that game, it tells you how much of a good player he is at age 16. I can understand Ecuador is not one of the best countries that you say, okay, they don't have the best talents. But then again, for a 16-year-old to start in any footballing nation now in 2023 tells you that that player has some serious talent. So if you keep on asking yourself why Chelsea is stocking up on some of the young players in the world and whatnot, it's because some of these reasons, they are very, very important in that regard. Now, I have this. Why is it that Manchester United are having serious on and off the field problems, yet they are signing some of the best deals? Now, it started with Adidas. Manchester United signed one of the best front shirt deals in the history of the English Premier League for a very long time with Adidas. Even when they had instability in terms of whether the club was going to be sold or not, even when there was instability in terms of player attribute on and off the field, and you go back and mention the name of Mason Greenwood and now Anthony. Now again, they have styled they've signed another extension with a different club called Qualcomm. Now, this deal is even much more staggering, especially in the context of the Adidas one, in the context of the fact that United aren't really getting results on the field of play. I think their marketing team has done a brilliant job, honestly. United's marketing team has done a solid job in that regard, getting Qualcomm and then Adidas and extending that one in Adidas. I mean, let me add that as well. It has been brilliant. Brilliant stuff from them. And I think that Manchester United have been very, very good in that. Now, yesterday, there was a list from the list of club sponsorships, the list of club spendings in Europe. And on top is Manchester United. Of course, it has to do with the kind of monies that these clubs are spent with net and whatnot. And of course, we've always said that when it comes to Chelsea, you have to have the conversation in the context of the net. How many players have been sold out of Chelsea Football Club? You can mention about 10 or 20 for the least. And then, of course, for Manchester United, they have done a lot of purchases also, very high prices. But again, they have failed to sell some players, so they're on top of that. But I think for me, actually, now, in the Spanish La Liga, I need to go back and commend Matthew Alemany for the job he did last summer. Commend Jose Maria Bartomeu. If you go back and not Bartomeu, you say thank you to all the job that the sporting directors have done at Barcelona. They've done a solid job, and the kind of team that they've built for Xavi has been great. Now, Deco has come in as the sporting director of the club now, but if you look at the quality of Massa spends the net of 323 million euros. 323 million euros for the squad that they have. They have Robert Lewandowski, one of the best strikers in the world now. There is Ike Gundogan who they got for free for Manchester City, one of the best inside tens they have now. Of course, Pedri Gavia from the academy, they paid nothing for them. Yamin Lawal has broken onto the scene, brilliant player. Alejandro Balde, brilliant player. In the middle of the pack, they've gotten a former La Masia boy in Oreo Romeo in the middle of the pack to give them steel, compactness, and aggression in that middle of the pack. All in that 323. At the back, they got Christensen. They had Ronald Araujo. They had Jules Koundé in that team. And that's the brilliance of the commercial team, the sporting director side of Barcelona. I think in the toughest times of that club, they've done a brilliant job. They have found a way to make sure that they use their negotiation skills and their marketing skills to get some of the best talents and build a squad with little to no money. That's no money compared to the sum Chelsea and Manchester United has spent in this summer and even the last. It has been brilliant stuff from Barcelona. We can go on and on and on and on and on. Ferran Torres is on the bench. They had Rafinha, Ousmane Dembele just did leave. Look at the quality. Marc-Andre ter Stegen, who is considered one of the best goalkeepers, is in their goal post. The quality is across the field of play. Frankie de Jong is still on their books. And that is what you get. I think it has been brilliant in this market in this time where the market has been bloated and there have been a lot of price hikes in terms of players, and then there have been a lot of inflation in this regard. It has been very hard for teams to beat down prices of players, but Barcelona have done a brilliant job. Amidst all of those things, also they've done a good job in making sure they get some revenue from elsewhere. So Barca have been brilliant. I mean, whilst Barca have been brilliant on the field and trying to be brilliant on the field, I think that Real Madrid have been super cool, especially given the tactical disposition of Carlo Ancelotti and how he has used Jude Bellingham. He has been brilliant. Like I've said this season, he has gone into a 4-1-2-1-2. And in that 4-1-2-1-2, the key part of that 4-1-2-1-2 is Jude Bellingham playing as a box-pressing hybrid striker. So he's at the apex of the diamond. And his job is to begin the press, lead the press, be aggressive on the front foot, try and win the balls back for Real Madrid. But once he does that also, if Madrid have the ball and they're attacking the box, he should be the last-ditch runner as a box-pressing attacker, sort of finding those spaces, being in them, and then waiting for those chances to fall to him and then slamming them home. In fact, I think that in the first few games that he has played in the Spanish La Liga and Carlo Ancelotti, and that's tactical tweak in his game. Yes, Jude can play in a deep line role, can play as an attacking 8, can play as a defensive 8 in that regard, can also play as a proper 10 or an inside 10. But it's creativity now that everybody's speaking about. And the fact that even in that game versus Scotland for England, he set up that beautiful goal for Harry Kane in there. And it is that creative hub of the game that Carlo Ancelotti has brought in for Jude Bellingham. So he has been good. The English Premier League is also returning. Man City are on top. Apart from then, about 3 or 4 clubs who are on 10 points over the Arsenal, Spurs, are all in there, West Ham United. Who is going to usurp Manchester City? Is the question that's going to go on and on and on and on and on. But yeah, it's been a brilliant first 4 games now. The statistics do say that Chelsea aren't really in a bad place like that. They seem to be on a good trajectory, albeit they aren't scoring the goals. But you need to be patient with them, actually. So yeah, we'll draw the curtains here today. Tomorrow we'll preview all the games. We'll do all the in-depth analysis of all the games. But there you have it. Jude Bellingham, brilliant. Harry Maguire, I don't know. Chelsea, will it work? Is a question that we keep on asking. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is a Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you for choosing me. I'm glad. See you. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification button. Adios. Bye.